What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and the moment that a lot of us have been waiting on, guys, is finally here. Deadpool is hours away from joining Marvel Future Fight, and this is a monumentous occasion, guys. The patch notes are finally here, and before we jump into this, I want to say this really quickly, boys. Since Deadpool is coming in the form of an epic quest, and the epic quest actually requires you to do some of your daily activities in the game, if you guys want to get a head start on the epic quest and progress as fast as possible in terms of getting Deadpool and the other characters, do not do anything after the reset today. Wait until the update and then start to do what you need to do. However, keep in mind that this will only leave you with a really small window before the next daily reset. Okay, so if you can't play early in the morning, if you're in the east, you're probably gonna have to do everything and just start a day later than the other people who are willing to stay up late to get Deadpool. I know myself, I'm gonna be pushing everything until last minute because y'all know I love me some Deadpool. So right off the bat, guys, we are getting 5 new X-Force characters and 2 new uniforms. Now, while this is amazing and I personally love it, at the exact same time I am disappointed because I know a lot of us wanted to see at least 3 more characters. I saw a lot of people asking for Iceman, Gambit, and I was hoping for Nightcrawler myself. And in terms of uniforms, people were hoping for X-Force Wolverine, X-Force X-23, and Archangel. However, cross your fingers and hope we don't have to wait this long again to see more mutants added to the game, and hopefully we can see a uniform for X-23, Wolverine, and Archangel in the very near future. Hopefully by the end of the year. Cross your fingers, guys. But that being said, let's jump right into these patch notes, baby. So right off the bat, we got my boy Deadpool. Okay, very happy, guys, and we see our first selfish leadership in Marvel Future Fight. Okay, sure, he's giving the entire team 1% increase the recovery rate, but that's just straight trash. And in true Deadpool fashion, he's giving himself a 30% increase to all attack, all defense, and all speed. I wonder how high this gets because this is being shown at level 1. This would be amazing if it went up to 50 or 60%, because to be honest with you guys, Deadpool's kit isn't really standing out to me. Okay, from what we saw in the gameplay yesterday from the live stream, his skills look like they hit really hard, so I'm happy for that. But in terms of just overall like details right here, I'm not being wowed by it. Not disappointed by any means, but I'm just not being wowed by it. So besides the leadership, we have his 4-star passive, and I think his 4-star passive is pretty cool and very fitting for Deadpool. As you guys can see, when his HP is below 20%, he recovers 45% of his max HP for 1 second, but it's on a really long cooldown. And if you guys have seen Deadpool in action, you guys know he can recover from basically anything. However, it does take him some time, so this is true to the character. I know some of you guys may be a little bit disappointed in the cooldown time, but I think this is true to the character personally. Tier 2 passive, as you can see right here, boys, when he's below 99% HP, so similar to Wolverine and X-23, guaranteed critical rate increased by 20%, bonus damage and skill damage is increased. However, unlike Wolverine, he doesn't get 5% max HP recovery, he gets 4%. And that, to be honest, is true to who he is, because his healing factor, while some people will say it's stronger than Wolverine, it was originally taken from Wolverine, so I can see why it's just a little bit weaker than Wolverine. So I'm happy with that. And we have, of course, a skill called Chimichanga. Okay, only 1 second stun and some bleed damage here. But when it comes to Deadpool, more than anything else, I'm looking forward to the skill damage and the skill animations. And from what we saw, they look amazing. Okay, they look amazing, they look very fun, and I'm very excited. Okay, we have love the smell of gunpowder, some crit rate right here, and just straight damage. We have another stun on Cool Finale, and I believe this skill can actually debuff world bosses, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I believe this paralysis also works on world bosses. Okay, quick work. We're gonna make quick work of these world bosses. We also have a new type of effect right here called incapacitation, and then we have penetration. In his entire kit, he can penetrate super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immune, but I believe the only thing he cannot penetrate is actually invincibility. So a CTP of destruction is actually looking really good for this guy if you want to make it so that he can penetrate everything all the time, basically. And then we got his tier 3 skill taken directly from the movie, Maximum Effort, guys. And this skill looks freaking awesome. Okay, really looking forward to that. So next on this list, boys, we have Domino. Domino's leadership is actually pretty cool. I'm hoping this goes up to at least 30, maybe 40% ignore dodge, and that critical rate actually goes up to about 25, maybe 30% as well. That'd be great. And then her tier 1 passive, as a lot of you guys probably expected, she's going to be a dodge-based character, obviously because she's a luck-based character, and dodge is basically just luck in Marvel Future Fight. So 20% increase to dodge, and then we got some guaranteed dodge and some guaranteed critical rate as well. We got some critical damage in there, so I'm really looking forward to playing with Domino. Hopefully her damage is really good. That's just the one thing that I'm kind of skeptical about when it comes to Domino. So we got Lucky Shot here, that's just straight damage. Then we got Probability with 3 seconds of stun. Looking forward to this skill because I believe it has some kind of hidden effect. And then right here, this skill is something that we've never seen before in the game, Reload. So basically it increases the skill cooldown time of enemies by 15%. I wonder if this scales to, like, let's say 50% or 100%. That would actually be hilarious if you could apply this to world bosses, but I see this being a Shadowland or PvP type effect, so I'm looking forward to that. You can also reflect, guys. I was not expecting her to have a reflect skill, but she does have one, and I'm really excited for that. As you can see right here, she has some burn damage because she uses auto bomb. She also has a 30% chance for the enemy's attacks to miss. That's actually really cool, and what you would expect from Domino. Then we got Free Fire. This is just more burn damage. Looking forward to that. Then next on this list, boys, we have Phantom X. Leadership is basically just the same speed garbage that we've grown accustomed to. 1% increase to all speed, so very disappointed there. However, his tier 1 passive, I was not expecting him to have any kind of native recovery. Sure, we've seen that he has the ability to heal himself in the comics, and he's mentioned that he has some latent recovery type abilities, but I was not expecting it to come to this game. So very surprised, very excited for this because that's going to bump up his survivability. Seeing more recovery based characters in the speed class is definitely a really good thing. So he has a mind resist, which we can expect from a character like him with 3 brains. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Then we got super armor and all defense. Moving down this list right here, he has 65% increase to damage to mutants. I was expecting this to be against humans. However, if you guys know anything about Phantom X, you guys will know that he's actually part Sentinel, okay? And he was originally made to hunt and destroy mutants. So if some of you guys think this is coming out of left field, it's actually not, because originally he had these special bullets that never missed their mark, and he was actually meant to kill mutants. But in true comic book fashion, once he figured out that that was his purpose, he turned against his creators and decided to do his own thing. So that's where that ability to deal more damage to mutants actually comes from. So moving down this list, we have the first skill, which is just Bonjour, and it's just straight damage. Probably an iframe. Acrobatic Fire sounds like it's gonna be an iframe. And then we have the first kind of crowd control in the skill, calling Eva, and it's a stun with an all attack buff. I'm looking forward to this. I was really hoping that Eva would be a constant summon in the game, but from the looks of it, it's not going to be. So I'm a little bit disappointed. I was expecting something like Maximus, where he has those 2 summons out all the time. I was expecting Eva to be the exact same way, but unfortunately that's not the case. I was not expecting to see him get mind control. control, even though it does make sense. But as you can see, boys, 2 seconds of mind control. The cooldown time is pretty long, but that's pretty cool. I love to see more characters getting mind control because that actually is really helpful for World Boss Ultimate. And moving down the list, we have some bind, some defense decrease, and that I believe will actually work on world bosses. He also increases his own attacks again, and that is really good for speed-based characters in the game who natively don't have that high of a damage. Next on the list, boys, we have Psylocke. Now, Psylocke is the new Magneto, so I see a lot of people already getting very upset. However, guys, it's better than her being in the X gene selector because you can at least save crystals, and over time you will eventually have her. Her leadership, in my opinion, is pure garbage for the most part. Mind resist, sure, Scarlet Witch as of right now is the most powerful character in the game, and a majority of her skills are mind based, and we're seeing more mind based characters, but still I would prefer mind damage increase over mind resistance. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. I would like to see more offensive leadership than defensive one, because defense in Marvel Future Fight at this point in time and over the history of the game have never been of any real use in Marvel Future Fight. Moving down the list, we have a tier 1 passive and more mind resistance. Kind of makes sense for the character that she's so resistant to mind-based effects, and I believe immunity to dominance of spirit is just another term for mind control, and it makes sense that Psylocke is so resistant to mind damage and mind control, so I'm not gonna argue that there. Tier 2 passive looks pretty good though, 100% chance to penetrate basically everything. So we got super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immunity. The only thing we're missing right here is actually invincibility. So you could ideally give her a CTP of destruction to cover that and make her a very powerful PvP character. She also increases mind damage by 35% for 5 seconds. It's on a 1 second cooldown, so you have to activate, I believe, her 6th skill to get this effect, but it's pretty cool as well. Similar to Scarlet Witch, I believe, because when you activate Wanda's 6th skill, she also gives herself that 40% increase to mind-based damage. So moving down the list, we have the first skill, just mind damage. Then we got a decrease to mind resistance, similar to Wanda. Then we got Reflect on her 3rd, similar to Wanda, with damage immunity, similar to Wanda. And we got, what is this? Just Psychic Blade. I'm really looking forward to this skill, to be honest. This is probably going to be one of my favorite skills in this game. I'm surprised it doesn't have more effects on it. And down here on her 6th skill, mind control. So she's looking like she's gonna be very similar to Wanda. I don't see her freaking removing Wanda from the top, but I definitely see her making a big splash in this game. Very happy about that. It's gonna take me a little while to get those crystals, but you can expect me to have her very soon, and this increases her mind damage as well. Moving down the list, guys, Strife. Okay, a lot of people are already saying that they're not gonna have Strife because you have to tier 2 everybody to get him. I expected this, okay? Strife is an Omega level, okay? I was expecting it from the get-go. I said it several times in several videos. Strife is probably gonna be the new Jean Grey, and lo and behold, he is indeed the new Jean Grey, okay? Looking at his leadership, it looks like it's a significantly weaker version of Angel's leadership, because Angel actually removes debuffs for 12 seconds on the same cooldown, but I believe this is just level 1. So if this goes all the way up to 12 seconds and it matches Angel, that's actually a really good PvP oriented leadership, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Moving down the list, boys, the tier 1 passive. Tier 1 passive, okay, decrease all damage received by 50%. God damn, this guy's looking like a beast already. Okay, immunity to incapacitation and immunity to fracture. And these are actually 2 new effects that are coming to the game. Not sure how either one of them work just yet, but I look forward to seeing how big of an impact they make in the PvE and the PvP aspect of the game. Tier 2 passive, give this guy a whopping 80. Okay, guys, 80% chance to penetrate everything in the game, okay? Super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immunity, and invincibility. He is right now, from the list, the only character that can penetrate everything. So you don't need to give him a CTP of destruction. You can give him a CTP of energy, okay? Which is probably the easiest offensive CTP to get right now, because you can get it from story mission and stuff, and you can actually change a lot of his skills and skill cancel from what we saw in the live stream yesterday. So Strife is definitely going to be an ABX meta character, and depending on his ability to take damage, if it's higher than Cable, thanks to this all damage receive reduction, he's probably going to be a beast in PvP as well. So yeah, not sure if he's going to completely dominate against everybody like Jean Grey did when she came to the game, but we'll have to wait and see, because all the new characters are getting their level 70 right out the gate. So she's definitely going to be getting challenged, Jean Grey that is, by Strife. So we're going to have to wait and see. So we have some CC on Death Leap, looking forward to that. And then we got Chaotic Gate with Incapacitation, that new effect. Incapacitation again, he gets a guard hit. I'm looking forward to seeing if this guard hit goes up to 8 hits, because if that's the case, that'd be really cool. Very similar to Cable, because Cable has a guard hit on his 3 as well. This is actually a V-pad skill, which is really cool. I look forward to seeing how this plays out. Let's see if you can channel this. This will be really cool as well. Moving down the list, we had some shock damage, incapacitation, fear. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be really cool to play Strife. Probably gonna take me a month, but we'll see how long it takes me to get everybody that I need to tier 2 to get Strife. Okay, last skill, very similar to Cable. It has invincibility on it, and you can expect this to be his strongest skill, similar to Cable. On top of that, it has that fracture for 10 seconds. I'm not sure what the fracture is, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Gives them stun and bind, and it seems like incapacitation is actually the ability to remove all buffs from target. So it's kind of a debuff. I thought incapacitation would be some kind of a CC crowd control, i.e. a stun or bind, just because of the name, but it seems like incapacitation actually just removes active buff from target. So yeah, and this is just basically telling you guys that you can obtain Deadpool from playing the X-Force Epic Quest. You can obtain Domino and Phantom X from the premium hero chest, or to get X-Gene daily, or you can get them from playing the Epic Quest. Psylocke is the new Magneto, so 6,600 crystals. Eat your heart out. Like I said, we cannot expect everything in this update to be free. I knew we were going to be getting another package. It was just a matter of who it was going to be. And then it tells you guys that you can get Strife from the Clone of Cable X-Force mission. It's going to be interesting to see if you can get bios or new type of materials from that specific mission, similar to how you can get additional bios and stuff from the Deluxe Package. Moving forward, we have 2 new uniforms for Cable and Colossus. To be honest, while a lot of people wanted Colossus to get a uniform to make him better, from what we saw in the live stream yesterday, he is the most disappointed one, simply because his skills look virtually the same. So we're gonna have to see the new effects and how much harder he hits, because his sister Magic is actually vastly superior to him in this game right now. But we'll see how much of an impact his uniform actually makes. Cable's uniform bonus could actually be really good in terms of making him even more of a monster, because it increases chain hit damage by 10% for 5 seconds. So we'll have to wait and see how his new skills chain together, because this could potentially push Cable back at the top to compete with Strife. We'll have to wait and see how his new skills animate and how safe he is to play, because one of the bad things about Cable in this game is that he's really not that tanky. For a character that has multiple iframes and invincibility, he dies pretty quickly when he does get hit. And obviously I spoke to you guys about Colossus already. He has immunity to that fracture effect, and he decreases all damage received by 30%. And good news for you guys, it seems like we have not yet seen the end of 750 uniforms in Marvel Future Fight, because Colossus's uniform is actually going to be a 750 uniform. Cable's uniform, however, is going to be a premium, so you're going to have to spend 1,000 for that. Moving down the list, boys, we have the splash page right here where it shows us all the new missions. So we have the story, then we got search and research, messy friends, stupid X-Men, all that good stuff. I'm not gonna waste too much time here. And we have the new tracking missions. Okay, so unfortunately this time around we only got 2 tracking missions. I'm very sad about this. I wanted at least 3 or 4, so I was hoping that they were gonna hit us with another surprise character at the end here, but unfortunately we only got 2 tracking missions. So I know a lot of you guys are very disappointed. Myself, I am very disappointed as well. However, I'm very happy that some of my favorite Marvel characters are finally making it into this game. So even though we don't get as many characters as I wanted, I'm definitely very happy, boys. So moving down the list right here, we're talking about the deluxe package for Psylocke and everything that you gain after you purchase this package. Even if you don't have her and you unlock her later on during the epic quest, you will actually get everything that you missed out on, so you don't have to worry. Similar to Magneto and the Rise of the X-Men epic quest, even if you don't have the crystals to buy the deluxe package and you complete the entire epic quest, no matter when it is, as long as you pick up the epic quest, you can always go back and get everything that you missed out on when it comes to Psylocke. And she actually comes to you as a 6-star character, so you don't have to rank her up or anything like that. All you really have to do is just work on her gears, which you will get enough bios, or rather X genes, to do that, and then you can just tier 2 her basically immediately, because that was the case with Magneto. So your 6,600 crystals is not completely wasted. And from the looks of it, she looks like she's gonna be a badass. I already spoke to you guys about the clone of Cable, Strife. You actually have to tier 2 everybody. For me, I personally have Colossus at tier 2 already. Cable's already at tier 2 natives, and I have them built already. So I basically only have to build 4 characters, and then I'll have Strife unlocked. And then that epic, okay, that epic tier 3 skill from Deadpool. I already spoke to you guys. All these characters are getting their level 70, and that should push Cable back into the meta. And when it comes to ABX, because something really interesting is actually happening to ABX as well. So there's a new alliance feature, and the first time I ever saw this feature was actually in DC Unchained, where you can actually request items from your alliance member. This is actually really good. I'm not sure if this request thing actually takes from your inventory, so when you actually choose to give to your alliance, if you're actually just giving them 20 norm stones from your collection, or if this is just an additional way to farm resources in this game. I really think they should add a feature here that actually allows you to request energy, because energy is actually going to be a really big thing right now with so many new tracking missions and stuff, because already it's pretty hectic in terms of utilizing your energy in Marvel Future Fight effectively. So moving down the list, guys, we have a small change. Actually, this is a quite significant change to Alliance Battle, more specifically ABX, because normal AB is really not that challenging anymore. And instead of having the same rotation every single week, week in and week out, we now have a 2-week rotation, guys. So week 1, we're gonna have obviously Speed and Combat on Monday, and then we have Universal and Blast on Tuesday, Female and Universal Villain on Wednesday. Thursday, we got Villain with Speed Hero. Friday, No Restriction and Combat Villain. Then we got Saturday, Combat, No Restriction. Sunday, Blast and Universal Hero. So that's getting changed up. And over here on week 2, we're seeing a lot of female. Okay, a lot of females are coming into ABX now. Okay, on top of that, Monday is Villain and Female. Okay, so a lot of you guys who are just building the male characters and only building Alliance Battle characters for one particular week and not building your roster completely are going to have to start doing so. I'm really liking this recent change, but I think this is more so that Netmarble can start cashing in a little bit more, because ABX is really where the big bucks are at, because people spend a lot of money for CTPs, guys. So they're trying to cash in because they see that ABX is where the real competition is. But I like to see change, so I can't argue with this. Okay, it's long overdue. Should have happened a very long time ago. The rewards are distributed basically the same. It's just an additional week where things are a little bit more unique, and I look forward to that. So the mission shop actually got updated. I personally have never bought any of these things besides the get 20 biometrics and the XG daily, but some of you guys actually do buy this. And I think the daily attendance number 2 is actually pretty decent, because at the end of it, it gives you a mythic uniform ticket, and along the way it basically gives you everything you need to get a uniform to mythic. So that's pretty cool. Moving down the list, we got some small changes here to collect all your items and not collect your energy. More importantly for me though, you can convert a whole bunch of Urus at once. Okay, this is really good. Time consuming process. That is, Uru conversion has been cut significantly, and I love that. I'm gonna watch my gold melt away and see all them failures, but it speeds up the process. So skill levels will now affect your rank, and I think this is once again another way to force people to spend to build up their characters, because there's certain people in the game who only rank up a few skills for a character because certain of their skills are really not that useful. Me personally, I basically rank up every skill for every character, so this doesn't really affect me negatively. But I know some of you guys who only keep skills at like 3 or 1, you might be affected by this and you might start losing rank for a lot of your characters. So that's something for you to note. This right here, the maximum limit has been increased to 3,000 for Phoenix Feathers, Macron Crystals, and Macron Shards. I was really hoping that this would be increased. I personally would have loved to see it get to 6,000, but any kind of increase I will welcome, because we've been asking for this change for a very long time. Moving down the list, boys, not really too much. The shield lab, where you send out your guys in the warp devices, will now give you a little bit of a warning if your character can be used in a later mission and he's already required on another one. So it's actually pretty cool, I guess, because sometimes the harder missions actually require that you send out 5 guys, as opposed to the other ones at the earlier stage that require that you only send out 2 or 3, and you can get 100% success rate. So they have a few more quality of life changes down here. Not gonna go through any of these because, to be honest, there's not really too much here that is really significant to me. But that is all I have to really share for today, guys. Like always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on this update, guys. Are you hyped that Deadpool is finally here? Okay, what are you happy about? What are you sad about? Are you guys very disappointed with this update, or are you very excited to see Deadpool in the game and a lot of the fan favorites finally making their appearance? But thanks for watching, boys. Peace out.